Hey guys, me Dave. It's Wednesday, 3/11/2020. So, I mean, there's not much to talk about tonight. I've been getting hit the last couple days. A lot of remote neural manipulation and stuff like that. They, like I said in my program before, when I'm alone and isolated, they don't hit me. When I'm around family members or friends or anything like that, then they hit me. Because my friends and family members are validating their technology, and stuff. So that's kind of what I've been going through the last couple days, anyway. I want to talk about the coronavirus for a minute, just for a minute. I'm up here in northern Minnesota, and there's been 5 cases in Minnesota, southern Minnesota. Like down in the Twin Cities area and stuff like that. But people are they are preparing for this coronavirus. They're preparing to get hit. An outbreak coming in this area or coming in the area they're living in, and all this stuff. They're stocking up on supplies and all this stuff. A family member of mine went up to Walmart, and some of the workers were wearing masks and they were wearing gloves and stuff like that to protect themselves. So I wake up in the morning or the afternoon, depending on how hard I'm being hit. I wake up and I watch. I turn it on, say CNN, and I try to get the latest news on the coronavirus and all this stuff. And a little bit of it, a little bit of the news is causing panic. People are panicking a little bit about this coronavirus. I think if you're in good health and stuff like that, I think you are gonna be fine. From the statistics that they're saying on TV and stuff like that. I think if you're healthy, whether it's you're older or middle age or whatever, I think you're going to be fine. Is kind of what they're saying. If you don't have any underlying health problems like lung problems and stuff like that, respiratory problems and stuff. So I think most of us will be fine. Well, if you have to stay in your house for 14 days, you got to make sure you have food for 14 days. You got to make sure you have toilet paper for 14 days. You got to make sure you're prepared. And a lot of people out there are getting prepared. You go to Walmart or you go to Sam's Club or whatever, and people are stocking up on items, to prepare for, if they're locked down for a couple weeks while this thing is going on. It's kind of scary, and I think the news feeds into that. But luckily here in northern Minnesota, there hasn't been any cases in northern Minnesota. We've been pretty good so far. Like I say, we're 3 hours from the Canadian border, and nothing in this area so far, which is really good. I live in a city of I don't know, what do we have? We have 80,000 people. And it's a big healthcare town, big healthcare city that I live in, and we have a lot of adult foster care companies in this town. That's kind of the industry in this town is adult foster care. If any of those residents caught anything, it would spread like wildfire. I don't know what they would do. If it did spread in that community, we would be in trouble then. Finding workers and all this stuff, we would be in big trouble that way. But luckily, so far, it hasn't hit our area at all. We don't have any confirmed cases in northern Minnesota, but down by the cities, they have about 5 cases. Where it's highly populated and stuff. So it's kind of scary. You watch the news and all this stuff, and they kind of scare you. You want to get gloves and masks and all that stuff, which we have. We have masks and we have gloves. We are ready. We have a little bit of food and stuff like that. If anything did happen, but you gotta prepare. It's pretty scary out there, but you gotta still live your life. You gotta live your life. And not panic about this, because a majority of us, I think, will be okay. If you're in good health, and have a good immune system and stuff like that, I think you'll be okay and stuff. But who am I to say? I'm not a doctor or anything like that. But anyway, I hope everyone will be okay. So I just thought I would talk about that a little bit. There was something else I want to talk about. People are bringing up the United Nations and stuff like that, and writing letters to the United Nations and all this stuff. We do have a lot of perps in our community. A lot of leaders are perps. That's just a fact of it. Everything is controlled in our community. They have to control. It has to be controlled to verify their technology and to do, many, many, many other things to us. This, the calls, they have to be controlled. It has to be that way. It has to be that way. I just want to say that, if, any of these leaders, or any other people, say that, oh, we should write to the United Nations and all this stuff, which I think is a good idea, to write to the United Nations. There's been stuff going on in a positive way, that has to do with the United Nations and all that stuff. The thing I want to warn you guys about is, if any of these leaders, if any of these people say that, oh, send your letter to me, everyone, and I'll mail it for you, and I'll take it. I've heard stories. I've heard these people say that, oh, I'll mail it to the United Nations, I'll mail it to the FBI, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it so you don't have to deal with it. Don't ever do that, you guys. Don't ever do that, you guys. If you were to mail a letter to a congressman, or if you were ever to mail a letter to the FBI or the United Nations, do it yourself. Don't ever, ever, ever trust anybody to collect your data and mail it for you. It'll never make it there. It'll never make it there. It will never make it there. Make sure you guys always mail your own mail. Don't send it to, if somebody offers to mail it for you, don't do that, because you want to make sure it gets there. Find the address and all this stuff, and make sure you mail it yourself. That way you know it's gonna get there. You know it's gonna get there to the United Nations or the FBI or congressman or whatever. Make sure you mail it yourself. I just want to warn you guys about that. Um, we're infiltrated, you guys. Uh, these a lot of these perps out there want to pretend like they're helping us, and they're really not helping us. They want to prevent us from getting help. If we get help and this thing stops, all these guys are out of work. They're out of work. These losers that don't work, probably never had a job in their life, that are perps, they don't want us to get help. So if people are offering to mail something for you, don't do it. Mail it to the address yourself. You can't trust these guys, you guys. And you got to make sure that, we are speaking out, and we got to make sure our message is getting to the right place. So don't ever, never let these guys mail something for you. Send it all to me, and I'll mail it for you. I'll take it to the FBI for you. It's like, really? Don't fall for that, you guys. Those are perps. They would never make it there. And stuff. I just want to warn you guys about that. If you're gonna write to somebody and stuff like that, mail it yourself to the people you're trying to contact. Don't trust any of these people to mail something for you, because it won't get there. I promise it won't get there. There's so many perps in this community that you have to be aware of what's going on, and there's a lot of perps. A lot of perps in this community. Some people don't want to believe that because they're gullible, but there's a lot of perps in this community, and they're not here to help us. They're here to hurt us. So if you mail something, don't let these people mail it for you. Send it to the appropriate address and whoever you're trying to get in contact with, and do it yourself. Don't trust anybody else to help you. It's just not going to work out. So I just want to kind of explain that. Other than that, there's not too much going on. I'm kind of getting hit on and off and stuff like that. I'm kind of dealing with it. A lot of remote monitoring, a lot of remote manipulation and stuff. Keeping me up at night and all that stuff. Same old stuff. So I'm sure you guys can relate to that. Sleepless nights. I wish we had a place to go. I really do. I wish we had a place to go. Legitimate place to go where there were real TIs. Where we could hang out and talk and all that stuff. There just isn't a place like that yet. Maybe someday there will be. I'm not in a position to start a place like that. I kind of wish a real TI would start a place like that where we could really go somewhere and hang out and talk, and it was run by a real TI, and we would kick the known perps out. Kick the known perps out that are flooding this community that we all know that are perps. Anyway, I suppose I'm going to cut this off, you guys. I hope you're doing well out there, and I will talk to you later.